Hi. Now I want to share about an important feature referred to in the industry as keywords. These are text keywords that you can set up for an array of purposes. One is the most common is you ask people to text a keyword to your assigned phone number, right? Your text P2P assigned phone number, which by default is an 833 number. So if you want, you know, people to opt in, for example, and you to get permission to text them, you could say, text this keyword. And it's a great way to obtain opt in from people. You could also do it for things like, RSVPing to events or to webinars. It's also a great way to start a workflow, right? Text this keyword to start a workflow, or text this keyword to start a survey. So lots of different uses for keywords, but basically you just click on this keywords on the left, and you can see various keywords that I have set up and lists that they're assigned to. But to create a new one, you would say create keyword. And maybe this is to RSVP to an event. So I would just tell people however I wanted to tell them, by email, by creating a graphic, by, a billboard. It doesn't matter, right? Social media, text RSVP to 833, blah, blah, whatever my number is. And people could do that. And if you want to get an email notification when anybody texts that to you, you could turn on this. One thing that you would want to do is you want to assign people to a list. I'd probably create a RSVP to my event list, right? A new list called RSVP, whatever. And I would select that list. And that way, anybody who texts that keyword would be assigned to that list. You could also, when people text a keyword, you could remove them from a list. This is key for setting up branching in a workflow. For example, you have an automated workflow and you ask people a question like, hey, would you be interested in this? And if they respond with the keyword yes, you could remove them from the current workflow and start a new workflow. So that's how you could use this keywords, this branching, essentially. Um, Here's the message that they get back. So when they text the keyword, they'll get back whatever message you want. This is just a sample message, which would be typical for, somebody who's opting in. So when they opt in, you want to, thank them for opting in for whatever they've opted in for, right? To receive updates from you, right? You want to give them that information, right? Thank you for opting in to receive updates from TextP2P. And then, the carriers would like you to give this information, right? If they're opting in, right? Like stop to opt out, and help for help, and how many messages they may receive a month. Or you could say frequency varies, data rates may apply. So, that's kind of just standard carrier verbiage, but not necessarily required. If they're you already have permission to text them, for example, and they're just RSVPing for a party, you may just want to give the link for more details about the event, right? Maybe the link takes them to an Eventbrite page or to a website where they could get more details about the party. And then I have these little boxes that you could check. If you don't have their name and their email already, the system will send them follow-up text messages and ask them for their name and their email. Now, each one of these would be a separate text message that's outgoing. So therefore, it would cost you an additional credit for each text message. So 1 credit for whatever you put here, 1 credit to ask for their name, and 1 credit to ask for their email. Now, if you already have the name and the email, it won't ask them. So it's smart enough to know that. And then you just hit submit. Okay, so now that keyword is set up, ready to go. You could test it out, text yourself that keyword, and you'll get back the replies, and you could test it out and see how it works. Additionally, if you want to remove that keyword, you just hit the trash can. Additionally, we have this action button, which is kind of nice, where you could create a link. So basically, you could select the keyword that we just created and um, select a phone number, whatever phone numbers on your account. This is my test account phone number, but yours would be whatever phone number was on your account, 833 or whatever. And then you could, create a link, and it gives you a tiny URL that you could copy and paste into an email or social media or wherever you want. And people could click that link, and if they're using their phone, it would automatically bring up their texting app with all this information populated. Another thing that you could do is you could do create a QR code, and typically QR codes are to a URL, but you could also click SMS, and you could put your phone number, whatever your assigned phone number is here, right? And then the message, that could be RSVP, right? And it creates you a QR code that you can download. And the great thing is, that could be in a newsletter or wherever you want. And if some, on a billboard, on a poster, whatever, people, on your counter, when people walk into your store, scan this QR code and then text to become a member of our loyalty program, right? So lots of different uses for a QR code, but basically it brings up their texting app. It automatically populates the number, it automatically populates the message with RSVP. All they have to do is hit the word send. So super useful, easy to do. I have a lot of people that do public speaking, and they'll use this feature for their slide deck, right? They'll throw it up and say, hey, if you want to receive my free ebook or whatever, scan this QR code and text me, and I'll give you a link immediately for it, right? And it's a good way for you to get everyone's information, because remember, everyone will be stored in whatever list you tell them, and then you can follow up with them and send them bulk messages to remind them of the event, to follow up with them after the event, whatever you want. So hopefully that makes sense. Keywords are super powerful and an awesome feature of the system. But if you have any questions, please, email support@textp2p.com, and I'll be happy to answer them for you. Okay, well, thank you.